I'm sure by now many of us, if not all of us, have heard of the Zodiac Killer. This was a man who terrorized the Bay Area more than 50 years ago. If you want to know more about the Zodiac Killer and this case, please continue watching.
You are watching Roll a Mile in My Shoes TV.
Although the Zodiac Killer struck the Bay Area almost over 50 years ago, his identity has still remained a maddening riddle wrapped in a mystery to this day. And due to the fact that he would send police officers and newspapers codes that no one could decipher, did not help matters any. In some cases, it even made the police more infuriated to want to catch him, and some of those police officers even tried to figure out who he was and catch him even after they had long been since retired, and none of them had succeeded, unfortunately, because he continued to terrorize the Bay Area for a good number of years before he suddenly went cold. And a lot of people think that he might have either died or just gotten too old to commit these crimes. And a lot of people wonder whatever happened to him, because some people suspect that either he was in prison for another crime and no one could connect him to the Zodiac killings, or either he was, like I said previously, too old to commit any more crimes. But sadly, a lot of us will never know. Although the Zodiac Killer has many faces and many identities, no one actually knows what he looks like. But this man here, Paul Alfred Dewer, is the man who is suspected to be the real Zodiac Killer. Although he has long since passed away, his daughter recounts the moment of when she found out that her father might have been linked to or actually be the Zodiac Killer. Gloria Dewer, 70 years old, said that people who are running away from something tend to come to the Hawaiian rainforest, but even there, under the shadow of a volcano, things tend to catch up with you. For Doris, at the age of 70, it happened in April. She was spending a tranquil afternoon at home when she learned that her late father, Paul Alfred Dewer, had been linked to one of the most notorious murder sprees of the 20th century. Her son had stumbled on a podcast interview with Paul's accuser, Jared Kobek, an internationally best-selling novelist based in Los Angeles. Kobek had written a whole book, How to Find Zodiac, about how her dad might have just been the maniac who, more than 50 years earlier, had terrorized the Bay Area with a string of cold-blooded and seemingly random killings. Now, it makes you wonder, when people write these books, how much research have they done, and why do they pinpoint or link certain people to these certain murders? And his daughter, Gloria, said that although her father wasn't perfect, if the author of the book had just taken time to pick up the phone and called her and talked to her, she would have, given her some insight on the type of man that her father was. And maybe he would have had a different storyline or even ending to his book. But apparently, he either did not know about her or just chose not to contact her while writing this book. Although she said she knew her father wasn't perfect, she said by the time she finished listening to the podcast, she was in shock. And she also said that, like I said before, if the writer had picked up the phone to call her before lodging his accusation, she would have happily told him that her father, who had died in 2007, he wasn't a perfect man, and he was actually far from it, as she says. He could be charming and quirky and vicariously curious, and he was also a member of Mensa. Now, this is something that I came across in several articles when researching this story, that the person who was committing these killings was obviously very intelligent, which makes you wonder, could it have been him or could it have been someone else? Because like I said, this man here that we're talking about, he was a member of Mensa. And so that kind of does point you in his direction. But even though there are few people in this group, there's more than one. So he doesn't have to be the only person that is considered a suspect. And just because the person is intelligent, they might not be a member of Mensa. They could just be an intelligent person. And that is something that I ran across when researching this case, like I said. But in the following days, she had mentioned the situations to a few close friends who thought she might have a liable case. She even reached out to an attorney, but she was reluctant to pay for the book, which at the time was $17.95. So her friend bought her a copy. And she also stated that the book stated that Paul Dewer, her father, is hardly the only suspect in the case. Actually, far from it. And among Rogue's gallery of other presumptive Zodiacs are a house painter, a farmer, a school teacher, and the Unabomber, Ted Kaczynski. And there are probably 50 or 100 more suspects named every year. And this is what Richard Grinnell said, the former postman who runs the website Zodiac Ciphers and has been following the case for a decade. Now, this makes you wonder, because these people that thought that they had cracked the case earlier in sometime in October of that year, they are called the case breakers. And they pointed to a brand new Zodiac suspect, and their theory was quickly debunked, but not before Fox News picked up the story, leading to hundreds of credulous media reports. Now, it makes you wonder that, what could these people have stumbled upon to make you think that, this man who they thought was the actual Zodiac Killer, what could they have stumbled upon that, could have led him to be the killer out of all those people that are named, like a farmer, a school teacher, and so forth? Because they, in October of this year, actually 2022, actually think that they had cracked the case. But like I said, their theory was debunked. And, it's kind of strange that a lot of people do this and then, you know, some news outlets will pick up on it without researching the people and the, research that they have. Although a lot is not known about the Zodiac, when I was doing research for this, I decided to watch a movie of many that have been done about him. And unfortunately, I came across the one where they talked a little bit about the fact that he was into some kind of ritualistic religion where he felt like he was worshiping, I think it was a statue, and he felt like he had to kill to fulfill his religious obligations, which is really strange to me. Because I mean, I understand that some people think that they have to sacrifice animals in certain, religions or what have you. But it was really strange that he would think that he would have to take human lives to fulfill his religious obligations. Now, this is just what I picked up from the movie. I don't know if this was something that was found in actual evidence, but the movie also depicted him as a very, I guess you could say, odd individual, because he wasn't really a ladies man, so they say in the movie. He would lie about his occupation. Some people he would tell he was a truck driver. Some people he would tell he was a I think a news reporter or something like that. But basically he had many fictional careers to suit the type of person he was trying to, I guess, pick up that at that time, the type of woman he was trying to pick up at that time. But like I said, the movie painted him out to be not so lucky when it came to the dating department and things like that. So a lot of times they also made it seem like that was the reason why he would kill a lot of these women or a lot of these people as well. So I wonder if that had anything to do with it as well, because sometimes that can lead people to, I guess, kind of go off the deep end, if you will. But that's just my theory and my thoughts about this whole entire case. But if you guys like this video, please don't forget to leave a like and also leave a comment down in the comment section below of what you think about this case and any other cases that you would like for me to cover. And until next time, guys, I'll see you on the next one.